Section 3.1 Notes. So we're going to start out by talking about different types of lines. The first lines we're going to talk about are parallel. The symbol for parallel looks like two L's, and they are lines that do not intersect. So they go in the same direction and they do not intersect. So if we look at the picture, if we take our lines going from left to right, all of the lines going left to right in the picture are parallel. Our next type of lines that we're going to look at are skew. Skew lines are another set of lines that do not intersect, but because they are non-coplanar, they will go in different directions and not intersect. So when we look at a set of skew lines, we would take a line that's going front to back and then look at a line that's going up and down that do not intersect. So two lines going in different directions that do not intersect. Our third type of line is perpendicular. We talked about this in Chapter 2. Remember that the symbol for perpendicular looks like an upside down capital T. These lines actually intersect in a very special way. So they intersect and they form a right angle. So if we consider that this is a right angle, then our perpendicular lines would intersect to form that right angle. Oblique lines are simply lines that intersect and don't form a right angle, so they intersect and do not form a right angle. We don't have an example of oblique lines in the picture, but if we just had a set of intersecting lines without a right angle, we would have oblique. Remember that our planes are the enclosed surfaces, and parallel planes are planes that do not intersect. So if we look at this, the top plane and the bottom plane would not intersect. So they would be considered parallel planes. So we could say that plane BGF was parallel to plane AHE. Next thing we're going to talk about is angles formed when two lines are intersected by a transversal. So a transversal is a line that intersects two or more coplanar lines. So in our picture, this is our transversal. The transversal creates 8 total angles with our two lines, 4 with the first line, 4 with the second line. So when we look, we get different types of angles. Before we talk about the types of angles, we are going to look at some things. If we look very closely, this space that is between the angles, so this between space with our angles is the interior, and then on each side of our lines is the exterior. It's very important that you understand interior and exterior. So the first lines we're going to talk about are, or angles, are the corresponding angles. Corresponding have corresponding positions around the transversal. So this means that one is interior and one is exterior, and they will be on the same side of the transversal. So our corresponding angles would be angle 1 with angle 5, angle 2 with angle 6, angle 3 with angle 7, and angle 4 with angle 8. The next one we're going to look at is our alternate exterior. So they are outside the lines and on opposite sides of the transversal. So they are both exterior and they're on opposite sides of the transversal. That's what it means to alternate. So if we look at our alternate exteriors, on the exterior of our first line we have angle 1 and angle 2. If we alternate sides, one is on the left if we go to the right and the other one. It alternate exterior with 7. 2 is on the right. We alternate sides and exterior to match it up with 8. Next we have alternate interior angles. So these are inside the lines and on opposite. So they are both interior and they are on opposite or alternate sides of the transversal. So our alternate interior angles. So our interiors are angles 3 and 4 with the first line. 3 is on the right, so its alternate interior would be angle 5. 4 is on the left, so its alternate interior would be angle 6. The next set we're going to look at are consecutive, also known as same side interiors. So they are inside, that means the interior, and they're on the same side of the transversal. So consecutive interior angles. On the inside we still have that angle 3 and angle 4 for the first line. On the same side of angle 3 is angle 6, and on the same side with angle 4 is angle 5. And last but not least, we have same side exterior angles, and they are exactly where they sound like they are. So same side exterior, they're on the same side of the transversal and outside. So angle 1 is the same side exterior with angle 8, and angle 2 is the same side exterior with angle 7. One thing that you do need to be careful with here is that you don't forget about vertical angles and linear pairs. Each line has 2 sets of vertical angles and each line has 4 sets of linear pairs.